Whoa, why is your phone on so loud? Can you not hear it when it rings?
I'm trying to share it.
Hey, it's the Today in AC After Show!
Hey, everyone!
Don't be alone.
Hope you're paying attention now.
Morning.
Am I that greasy or is it just the light over here?
No, it's the light.
These are Pete's. News people problems. Speaking of news people problems, I was going to start the show with my head down, pretending I was asleep because we're talking about snooze habits, and then I realized I'd get makeup all over my dress clothes, and so I didn't do that.
But Vanessa just recommended a fantastic new dry cleaner.
I was just gonna say that. I'm like, well,
wrote a
good
group
thing.
text yesterday. I'm very excited. I told my husband about it as well. So we're all
Okay,
gonna
good.
try it.
I'll let you know how it goes. I'm always skeptical when it comes to new dry
So
cleaners.
nap.
I've been
with
taking it there
carefree
for a while.
energy. Yes.
All right. Anyway, we are talking about your snooze habits this morning. We had this on the show this morning on Today in AZ. Doctors have been telling us for a long time not to hit the snooze button because it's bad for your health. The experts contend that it confuses your brain and it makes it harder to get up, and it's harder to get quality sleep once that first alarm goes off. So we're asking you, how many times do you hit the snooze button before you actually get out of bed? What's your routine? Because if you're anything like me, you play some mental gymnastics
Yeah.
when it's time to get out of bed.
See, mine is more, I do it before I go to sleep because I'm always like, okay, I know I'm staying up too late, but if I watch the end of this show, then I'm going to have it. And I start back timing.
Yeah.
That's what I do. When I wake up, I'm still asleep up until the red light comes on here. So, yeah, mine is more the night before.
Okay, I hit it 4 times.
4 times is
Yeah.
your go-to?
Yeah, and so I have one alarm that goes off at a certain time, another one 5 minutes later, and then I hit snooze on both of those.
Okay, so that's
And
your
the-
4.
Yeah,
What about you?
That's every morning?
every morning. And I need to learn not to do that, like seriously.
Vanessa. I can't, I mean, never say never, but I cannot recall one time that I've ever hit snooze.
Wow.
Really? And you're the
I-
same way? How
Yeah, I
do you
don't
guys do
snooze.
that?
As soon as the thing, I like almost jump out of bed. It like scares me, the noise, right? And I could be dead tired, but I still like, I'm too afraid to miss work or whatever it is that I'm supposed to, be on time for, that I just, okay, go. And then usually the dogs are up and they're like,
See, that fear is dead in me. You know,
I'm late everywhere.
Whatever.
Yeah.
The show will
Rachel's
go on.
got it.
if I miss it, I miss it. If he
Yeah.
dies, he dies.
No, I think that I don't think I could relax
Right.
enough to enjoy the snooze because I am so paranoid that I'm going to sleep through the shift. So it is super immediate. I get up and I swear every time I've been doing this shift previously the last 5 years. And so every time I wake up, I think there's an emergency. Literally, like my heart stops. I think there's some sort of family emergency. And then I realize this is just my life.
Yeah.
Go to work,
Monday
accept
through
it.
Friday.
It's an emergency. It's just not
It's
the emergency
shocking,
you thought.
literally every morning.
For me, it's a very analytical approach. Like, I know that the iPhone snooze alarms are set in 9-minute intervals. So the night before, I try to set an alarm at. I've learned I have to be up by 2:20 in the morning if I have to shave before I come into work, and that's 3 days a week. So 3 out of the 5 days I've got to shave before I come in. So I got to be out of bed by 2:20. So I'll set the first alarm for 1:55. So I know the snooze will hit at 2:04, and then I'll hit the snooze again at 2:13. Then I've got a backup alarm set at 2:20. So the snooze would take me to 2:22, but that first alarm would be taken over by the second alarm at
Yeah.
2:20. And so then if I don't get up at 2:20, the snooze will catch me at 2:22. So that would be the
lot of
absolute
effort.
latest.
Yeah, but then I think to myself, why wouldn't you just want to have one nice long chunk of sleep
Yeah.
versus all this broken up?
choppy.
Yeah, just sleep all the way to
2
2:20.
reasons. One, because if I set the alarm at 2:20, I would then hit the snooze button and not
Yeah,
the
and then
Tell
sleep
yourself
longer.
don't.
Nah,
Don't do it.
It doesn't work like that.
So
And
what time do you leave the house? I'm just curious with all of this.
2:50, 2:55 maybe?
my God.
Try to
Please,
get
you're
it
such a
straight.
guy. It's so easy for you.
No, you know I leave the house in 10 minutes.
I know, you were telling me that.
Yeah, that's I need at least a half hour.
I wait, so my alarm goes off at 2:40 and I'm in the elevator by usually 2:53.
Wow.
Yeah. But I literally, because I did everything the night before and I do my makeup and stuff when I get here.
okay.
So I literally throw on a dress, brush teeth, wash my face, pour coffee, and then I'm ready to go. That's it.
The other reason,
bags are by the
way,
door.
is it's almost like giving yourself it's like cutting yourself a break to start the day. Like, it's like, hey, you gotta be up, and then I say to myself, nah, man, you get to sleep just a
Chill
little
out,
bit
alarm
longer.
Yeah.
clock.
And then you get like that little dose of dopamine where it's like, actually, I don't have to be up yet, and you kind of curl back into your ball and go back to sleep.
I go right back to sleep. I am tired. Like, as soon as that one comes on, I'm like, boop. I'm out.
Let's get down to the comment section. Donna says she never hits the snooze alarm. Crystal, you've got company. Yvette says she smacks it twice. Teresa doesn't do it at all. Diana says good morning. Good morning to you. I'm glad the alarm got you up this morning, Diana. Lori Dawn says she hit it 3 times just this morning. The totals are going up as we scroll down the comment section, though. Angie says she hits it as many as 5 times.
Wow.
Pamela says that's her standard. So does Jenny. That's a lot of snoozing.
But Missy
That's
says, I
45 minutes
never
of snoozing."
snooze. I usually wake up a few minutes before my alarm goes off. I hate that sound.
Josh relies on the toddler and newborn. They're his alarm every 2 hours. I hear you don't sleep once you become a parent.
Not in the beginning.
No.
It's like hazing. You just have to look at it like this is hazing. This is going to go on for 5 months, and then you sleep train.
Hey, by the way, Crystal, Debbie's asking for a personal forecast, and since we love the people on the show, why don't we slap up the 7-day
Debbie,
or
this
tell her
one's
what's
for
coming up
you.
today?
Do I have? Oh, I have the 7-day up. I just
Look at that.
I was able to tell the future, and
Yeah,
you'd
wow.
ask that. Yeah, today is going to be one of those days where if you can, just stay indoors, whatever that is. In the office, wherever your happy place is, the movie theater, the mall, depending on, or the pool near you if you happen to have the day off.
Make friends.
So we have that excessive heat warning that is going to continue to take grip through tomorrow. We have an ozone high pollution advisory, an additional blow for us today. And then tomorrow we have an even higher risk for fire danger. So the next 2 days, bottom line, we're in 110 territory. It's not until we start heading into the all-important weekend that we dial back on those temperatures just in time for the first day of monsoon on Saturday and Father's Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
Speaking of being tired, do you notice that you're more tired after being outside all day long when it's hot?
Oh my gosh, yes.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm like,
Absolutely.
I was
Drains
running
you.
errands yesterday and I was exhausted. Like when
probably
I
a little
sat down on the
dehydrated,
couch.
too.
Yeah, and so I sat down and I was like,
It's all
out
the
for like a
heat.
few minutes, But it's like, and then I had lunch and that made things worse.
Oh yes, have a little siesta.
Yeah, but when it's so hot, you just like feel like you want to sleep all day long.
Let's think for a second about the dumbest things we've ever done in the Arizona heat. I think that Phoenicians wear it like a badge of honor. We always try to do something out in that weather you shouldn't try to do it. You guys ever do anything like that?
A lot of people hike still when
Yeah.
it's so
it's
hot.
super hot.
Yes, and then there's lots of rescues that have to.
We caution against that
You
kind of
know?
thing, but there's always the person that's like, well, it's not going to happen to me. I'm in too good a shape. I played 36 holes
gonna
last
say, yours
summer
probably
in the
golf.
summer.
Oh, my.
My brother was out here. Well, golf rates are so good. You can play really nice courses for really, really
Not
cheap.
worth your life.
So we did 36 in like
Wow.
the last 8 holes or so. The back 9 of the last one we played, I was just like, I feel like I'm going to die. Like your body just
Delirious.
starts.
Oh my God.
I played with Mitch, our reporter. I didn't know if the people knew who Mitch was. He's sometimes on this show. Mitch, who works here, and Cam, one of our sports guys. I golfed with them on Monday, and when it was 106, I think was the high on Monday. I probably
I think we got to
drank
109 actually this
109?
past Monday.
Yeah. I probably drank 8 or 9 bottles of water and did not use the restroom on the golf course.
Yeah.
If that, is any indication
Yeah,
as to
you're
how
dehydrated.
dehydrated you can become.
These are all examples of what not to do.
Yeah. Don't do yard work either.
Don't dehydrate.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's just save it for once the sun goes down, and it's another one. And I'm right there with you too. Dog owners, your dogs are bringing you the leash. And you're like, sorry,
Yeah.
Beefy, Fluffy, I can't take you. It's
gosh.
I
just
thought you said beefy at first. That's a great name for a dog.
Great.
Sorry,
Beefy.
This is like definitely a pug named Beefy. So the other day I was at the CVS, whatever, and I saw this lady with her dog, and she had the cute little, like the baby Robies, those little, they're like suede little baby shoes.
They're dog
but
shoes.
And
Yeah.
they're on the little dog's feet. I'm like, that's so cute. I've literally never seen that. I thought that was cool.
You have to protect them on the asphalt, though.
Yeah, it's so hot for them.
But it's like, you just don't even want to be out there, period. But even after the sun is set, it takes a while for that to cool off. And so that's where those little booties probably would definitely come in handy, but definitely wait till.
They're all boop, boop.
I know, they look so cute. This is my first Arizona summer, so I have no idea what's in store for me. And then we had such a long, I guess you can call it spring.
You get a trophy at the end of it once you survive it.
We'll see if I'm
Nice
alive.
little badge.
Good thing you're not a hiker, because then
Nope.
you don't have to
Sure aren't.
worry about
Unless we're
that.
hiking to Saks.
No.
That's about it.
All right, let's
Yeah.
take a quick break from the discussion, get to
Okay.
our ICYMI this morning. In case you missed it on Today, Nazy, a little fun in the morning juice. We try to have fun in the show.
Katy Perry posting this picture of cookies on her Instagram overnight with the caption, feels good, Taylor Swift. You can also see on the edge of the cookie plate, it says, peace at last. It's been rumored that the two have been feuding for years and that Taylor Swift's hit song, Bad Blood, was about Katie. Well, let's hope that they finally put it all to rest and they become friends again. I mean, you can heal everything with cookies, right?
As long as those are chocolate chips and not raisins. Otherwise, I think it's a duplicitous scheme.
Cruel joke.
No. OMG, this one is for you, Harry Potter fans. A new ride opens tomorrow at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Universal's Island of Adventure. It's called Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. That is a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, riders board magical motorbikes and fly through the Forbidden Forest in search of rare magical creatures. It'll be the first U.S. coaster to feature a free fall vertical drop totaling at 17 feet. Yeah. And listen to this, it's also the longest roller coaster in Florida, nearly a mile in length.
Oh my God.
I don't know if I would get on that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it looks beautiful.
I'd be like, no, I'll pass.
Yeah, not for me. The free fall?
No, and you know how it makes your stomach feel? You're like, ooh.
It happened on air when you read it. Like, I felt that, like, hit. Like, oh, no, buddy.
No way.
Wussies, I'd be on it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
No. But it looks like a fun ride. I mean, I can't say I am or not. I haven't watched the movies and I just haven't.
I would think that would qualify you as not a fan.
Yeah, but I'm not like.
You're not anti.
I'm not anti. There you go. I'm not anti Harry Potter. Exactly.
I don't have any particular reason not to be. Let's get back to the snoozing for just a second. Tiffany says, no snooze here. I changed that process last year, and it's amazing. Tiffany, could you give the people some tips as to how you wean yourself off the snooze alarm? I've tried it. I can't do it. Anything short of leaving your phone or alarm on the other side of the room.
Yes.
That is the one thing that I know would work, but I have no interest in doing it.
I don't either.
It's
My
a
phone is
serious
right by my bed.
commitment. Yeah. I feel like it's almost like we have to sleep train you, Paul, like
I-
with a baby.
I was not properly trained.
Me and Rachel will be there with our whistles.
Paul, get out of
That
bed now.
sounds awful.
Throw the
I'm gonna
sheets
get
off.
a kazoo because everybody loves waking up to a kid with a kazoo.
It's so hard. So I was just telling Crystal this morning that I had a cramp even before my alarm went off on my leg. Like it,
worse.
I woke up and I was like, I can't move. And I still went right back to sleep knowing.
You didn't even stretch it out.
I laid there and I was like, okay, it'll pass, it'll pass. And then like I literally went right back to sleep and my alarm went off like 10 minutes later. Like why didn't I just wake up and be like, okay, you're
You're
up.
definitely dehydrated, by the
Like-
way. You just keep telling us things that you need to drink some water, girl.
I know,
my-
my
is
mom's been telling me that.
Is anyone else like me where I actually force myself not to look at the clock if I wake up like with a cramp
Oh,
or something
yeah.
because
Yes.
I will have a mental game like, oh no, I only have 20
Yep.
minutes. Should I get up? Should I not? Should I try to go back to sleep? Blah, blah, blah. I just
started
refuse to
turning
look
my
at it.
clocks
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
Where I put something over it, so that way if you do wake up and you have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I'm like not freaking out thinking, oh my gosh, I have to get up in 45 minutes or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Devil's advocate, though.
Yes.
That has saved me before.
Yeah.
On nights that my alarm didn't go off or whatever. Like just a couple weeks ago, I was talking on this show about how my alarm, for whatever reason, didn't go off. And I looked over at my clock and saw that it was like just past waking up time. If my clock was turned the other way,
But don't you have 5 alarms?
well, on my phone.
Oh, they're all on
They're
your
all on my phone.
Source. No,
I
you
have
to a
two
separate
sources.
source.
Two
Yeah.
sources, I think, is the trick.
I like.
You have the
I like
real
living
clock?
dangerously.
I have a real old-fashioned digital clock.
I think mine is from high school. I'm serious. It's so my husband's like, you still moved with that thing? I'm like, it's so reliable. It's
It
been waking
still
me up
works.
for 6 years. No, just kidding. But yeah, I love
Just
it.
out of high school, right?
Fresh out.
Speaking of husbands, okay, so how does that work when you, yeah, because we have a lot of people commenting and you're talking about husbands. I
yeah?
don't have one. But how does that work, like, when
You're
you
together
have a
forever.
significant other and they're
Yeah,
hitting
no.
the snooze button and, you know?
No, my husband and I are both crazy, and my kids too. We're a whole family of hard sleepers. So literally we've been where the fire alarm went off, my husband did not wake. I'm like, you
my.
are zero use in this situation.
Yeah, you're
and then
dead,
the
man.
kids, I've slept through hurricanes before. We're just
my.
hard sleepers. So when we were first married, my husband was waking up at 4 a.m. for work. But he would be like tiptoeing. I'm like, why are you tiptoeing this? I've never heard you. And same now, when I get up at 3, he doesn't move. We're just hard
Wow.
sleepers. We're lucky with that.
Well, Lisa says her husband hits the snooze button 3 to 4 times before he gets up, and she said she'll never understand why he does this. His schedule is from 2 to 10 a.m., and he's out the door by 1:20. That's hard, I'm guessing, when you're sharing a bed with
Yeah.
someone else, you know?
Especially like, have you ever been in that situation when someone else's alarm is going off and you're
Yeah, you're like, shut up!
like, why is it not waking you up?
Yeah.
It's waking me up.
Throw something.
And
at it.
Charles, I'm like you sometimes too, where my brain will just wake me up like 5 minutes before every time.
Oh, I
I've
hate
had
that.
stretches of that where I'm like, gosh darn it.
I know. I hate
Quit
that.
trying to play alarm clock, brain. Just let the alarm do that job. I know, that's the worst.
Ellie needs the help more than I do. 10 times or so, she says.
Wow.
Usually awake in bed, trying to slowly
It's like
wake
an
up.
hour and a half of snoozing,
That's a long time.
right?
All right, let's
If
get
it's
this.
9 minute, if you're going by the 9 minute intervals.
The 9-minute rule. Let's get to some fresh squeezed juice, shall we? Oh, it's
Ooh.
gone.
Oh.
It's not in the prompter
No,
anymore.
Is it
somebody
time?
forgot to squeeze the juice.
No, it's there now. Alyssa tried to kill it because she thought we were going to talk about sleep all day, but we didn't.
It's our favorite
Sorry to
topic.
surprise you. What
Of
is it?
course, we had to talk about dating, guys.
Oh.
It looks like most people do have a type when it comes to relationships. A new study shows people tend to always date the same type of romantic partners. We often hear our friends say that they don't want to go back to the same type of relationship and they want to try dating someone different from their ex. But it turns out most people are just comfortable with the traits of their ex.
All right, so Vanessa, this is one of my dating stories.
Okay.
Just briefly. So if you lined up all my ex-boyfriends, they could be brothers. They all look the same. They act the same. They're literally the exact same person. I was doing the exact same thing wrong over and over again, right? So then I got to a point in life where I'm like, okay, I moved back to Houston. I'm back in my hometown. I'm a bad picker, obviously, so I just started going on a bunch of blind dates, being set up with friends, because I said, clearly I keep doing the same wrong thing.
Right.
That's how I met my husband. And he is the opposite of anybody I would have ever dated in my entire life.
Really?
So, like, maybe I didn't know what I needed until, So sometimes you just have to say, if I'm still doing it, I just have to force myself not to. Break the cycle.
Yeah, and I talk about this with my girlfriends all the time, and we were just talking about relationships and stuff, and like how it's like you meet, it's always the person that you least expect. That's what they say. Anyway, I haven't done experience that yet, but they say it's always the person you least expect that you fall in love with, and everything's great, and when you look at them, you're like, oh, that's not my style at all.
Right. I wouldn't have picked him for me in a million years.
She's been chasing me for 2 years. Vanessa, we're not right for each other.
Hey, Paul, wake up from that dream. Your alarm is going off.
Snooze.
Oh, Paul.
I like getting your goat when it comes to that stuff. I'm guilty of the same thing, though. Like, you just have a type. You're wired that
definitely
way,
a type.
whatever it is. It's probably some deep-rooted childhood trauma that makes you that way. Some
That's what they
Oedipus
always go
complex
back
stuff.
to, you
Yeah,
know?
like you can't control it. Sometimes you are who you are. Sometimes you want what you want. I have this ideal in my head of like what I think my future wife will look like.
Okay.
But I've never dated that kind of. You know what I mean? Like I'm never gonna have that.
At least you're like, what you're envisioning goes against type. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it could be.
At
I
this
feel like
point,
you
it
like
is.
the bad girls.
What?
Definitely likes the bad
Throw
girls.
me under the bus. Now, there's a time in your life, I think, where that's okay, and then eventually you have to kind of get over the bad girl and bad guy phase. I don't think you're
Yes.
hopping on the back of a motorcycle anytime soon.
No. That's all that.
Well, maybe. If any guys with motorcycles are watching.
Depends where we're
Yeah,
going.
right. Yeah, exactly.
No,
Charles
To
says you
Dairy
got to
Queen.
change it up a bit.
Yeah.
Expand your dating pool.
I think so. It worked for me.
Hey, by the way, Amber's watching the show. She is the lovely wife of one of our coworkers who wakes up at 1:30 in the morning. Says she doesn't need to be up till 6 and usually doesn't hear him wake up. So you've got another fellow deep sleeper in the house.
Yeah, thank goodness. That's a blessing. If not, you get some really good earplugs.
Diana's been waking up at 4 a.m. for 49 years. Diana,
Whoa!
that is the mark of consistency.
But
right there.
is that with an alarm or without alarm? Is that your natural?
You think she needs one now after
4 a.m.?
49 years?
I don't know.
Her brain probably gets her up 3:59.
circadian rhythm is
3:59. Yeah.
I gotta
bumping
try
away.
that. Okay, maybe next week I'll try it.
No, here's the thing. I don't think that you can be too mad at us for having weird schedules because it's like it's a struggle for survival on this shift. And like I'm not trying to be a martyr. I'm not digging ditches for a living. I'm wearing makeup right now. Like I get it. But like getting up at that hour sucks. And I think anyone that wakes up at that time can admit that.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure it's something you ever really get adjusted to fully. Like getting up at 4 a.m. is different than getting up at 2 a.m.
Right.
Like 2 a.m.
It's not normal.
Or
Humans
1
aren't
a.m.
supposed to be awake at that time.
That's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
4 a.m. you're an early riser or whatever. 2 a.m. is literally the middle of the night. It's a graveyard shift.
Yeah.
It is, and so like
Yeah.
you have to survive those
Yeah.
days. So you get sleep when you can get it. I took a 4-hour nap yesterday. I'm not proud of it. I needed it,
It's okay.
or else I was going to die.
No, I think your body tells you what they need. But what messes me up is that I always revert back to a normal person schedule on weekends.
Yeah.
So I stay out late Friday, I sleep in Saturday. So I do, because people say you should try to keep it consistent. I've never been able to do that.
Who would wake up at freaking
Why would I
2:30
do
in the
that to
morning on
myself?
Saturday and Sunday?
Well,
I had
maybe
a friend
not
who
that
did that.
early, but maybe like a compromise. Maybe not as late.
Yeah.
Because I try to keep it like.
Like, I'm not sleeping till noon on the weekends.
Who am I kidding? I'm all over the place all the time.
Yeah, you're on every shift.
I'm on
so
every
yeah.
shift,
And every
every
time
shift.
zone.
Yeah, so.
All right, guys, thanks for not hitting the snooze on us this morning and
Yeah.
sticking around for another Today
Go
in
take a
AZ
nap.
after show. You got a thing?
No, I was just saying
Oh, you
you're.
went, oh,
Hey,
thank you.
we're done.
Mr. Clever over here.
Yes.
We're back tomorrow at 7:30 for another edition. We'll see you then. Catch Today in AZ, 4:30 to 7 a.m. on 12 News. If you want to do that, you'd find us there. Well, not you tomorrow. You're not here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sleeping in.
Congratulations.
I'm sleeping in.
Till 3 this time.
Yay! Thank you.
Be good, people.
So, who are we going to try dating next?